people, like a small town, nothing's real. Mama's still doing wrong, don't tell the preacher. Nothing really changes except the weather. If you can't say something nice, you don't say nothing at all. Don't want you up in my life, 'cause you talk too much. I could leave it all, I'm feeling low. Find myself on a brand new road. If you can't say something nice, you don't say nothing at all. Don't want you up in my life, 'cause you talk too much, y'all. Gotta go to church on Sunday, get a dose of the Southern truth. Grandma's house is just down the way, and she's missing you.
And hello. How is everybody doing on this Sunday evening? I hope you've had a great day. We appreciate the beautiful weather we've had. It's been hot. I appreciate my son mowing my grass. He just got done. We're staying busy. I hope you all have had a blessed afternoon. And since this morning we were with you for the Sunday morning in the Word and trying to get situated. I've been really busy. was rushing to get on the line, as we say. But we're looking forward to being here. We're going to cover a few topics tonight on the news desk. We'll check in with the chats if anybody wants to jump in and say anything. Again, I'm a little bit behind. I haven't had any welcomes in the chat. Usually I try to do that. But we're going to talk about several news items. We're going to pull some things up on the screen. Right off the bat, our thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Texas. It's a horrible thing. You've seen the news reports just like I have, and they are horrible. Hello, Michael. Hope you've had a good day, my friend. Hope you stayed cool. Been a little hot. We had a good day at church. Kind of vegged out. The race was very interesting today. We'll talk about that on the racing hour on Tuesday with Dean. So lots of, wasn't much, a little bit of sports, not much. Mainly just staying really inside and resting a little bit. It was a busy weekend. We've had a lot going on in our neck of the woods, and I'm sure you have as well. I did not record yesterday morning or come live because I was really busy just trying to get some things done. That's rare that I don't do that, but we're working on Yeah, I went up to 26, 27 feet in 45 minutes. I've watched a lot of the videos of it from different angles. Incredible. And it's hard to really even understand it until you see it. It's really hard to even understand how bad that got, how quickly that got bad until you really see it. And it's just horrible. Thank God for the ones that's escaped. Hopefully they'll still find some. There's already a lot of deaths. Death tolls rising. And, let's pray for them. Our church prayed for them. That's what we can do, right? That's absolutely what we can do. And let me pull up my other screen here. Me and Rob, we talked the other night about how many different screens we have, and just making sure that I've got all the little doggies in a row. Like I said, I was talking to my son and came in pretty hot. I mean, meaning I was kind of sliding in to the chat. I was getting some things. I don't know if my brother's watching, but I was messaging him. I was uploading our new racing logo and getting that all sized up appropriately for the shop so he could get one. He's going to the Bristol Braves game. He wanted to advertise for the podcast. We appreciate that. And if I might say so, that logo looks great on the shirt. Small crest on the left side, on the back, or however you want it. You got options there. And their prices are so great. We're fixing to pour the logos into our shop. That's coming on. And the only bad thing is we can't tie it into our Shopify, but it's okay. We can still do those things in the shop. We'll talk about all that later. This week is going to be a lot about getting the coffee should be. I'm going to check with them tomorrow. Hey, broski, I'm going to check with them tomorrow and make sure that the coffee part of our shop, it has its own shop, which will tie into our Shopify. Hopefully it's ready because I'm ready to put more logos up, and I will be. I've got 3 more pretty much ready to go up with the ones that we have there. Tonight we're going to talk about a little different things. I'm going to pull some news items up. We're going to talk a little local news. People that need to really think before they speak. Georgia. Sometimes that might be us. That's why I try to stay measured in what I say. I knew where she was attempting to go. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but she blew it. And it's not a good look for Georgia politics on a national level. The left's having a field day with it. We're going to talk a little bit about that, where that came from. And she just, it's never me. Oh, we can talk about you. We talk about you when you're not here. No. You Philly transplant. All the way to North Carolina. We're going to talk about Russia, Ukraine. We're going to talk about Middle East peace. We've got a couple other news items. I'm going to pull them up on the screen in a minute. I just wanted to see how everybody's doing tonight because when I haven't been online in a few hours, it just kind of like rips at me, Like, yeah, this morning I was so excited because I didn't go live Saturday at all. And that was like, wow, I was so missing it. Like I went over an hour. Like usually I had 45 minutes to an hour of Sunday morning. I think I was now like $1.15 or something, just because I was enjoying the topic and I was just enjoying being here. That's the hard part. The work part is the not fun part. It's necessary. You get excited, and nothing like coming on and meeting with everybody. And there's some videos, even of some other creators that I want to watch. Just some shows. The Angry Conservative, I don't know if you knew this, but Celtic Blacksmith was on his interview series, and I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I've got it kind of queued up. I'm going to watch it, and I may do that tonight before I go to bed. As I'm pretty, believe it or not, I can't believe it. Well, I do have one to work on. I'm pretty well caught up on shows going up. It's like a miracle. I'm usually running behind on the shows that we have to load up. I think I've got 2. Well, counting this show, will be 3 MP3s to go up, and then I'll be like caught up. It's like a miracle. Heaven has came down and just blessed me, and I was like, I don't know how to feel. I was actually today getting ahead of stuff, and tomorrow I'm gonna do even more, and hopefully just kick this week off, kick it right in the face, and get going. Yeah, Michael, it does tear your heart anytime there's kids involved, but anybody, but especially kids. Lives change so quickly. I preached on death today at church. You might think, well, that's rough. No, it's actually the perfect time because, it's an uncomfortable subject and a lot of people don't like to talk about it. Even for those of us that know where we're going, we know where we're going. It's a difficult subject for people to talk about. And Christians don't like to talk about it either because we fear the process of dying, not where we're going. But nobody likes to think about that. And so um, we talked about that. It is broski. It is a part of life for everyone, but nobody wants to talk about it. It's uncomfortable. It's an unwelcome, you know, topic. The only ones that can talk about it and somewhat get through it is comedians. They make fun of it. They make fun of parts of it, and they they talk about death in a funny way. That's they use humor to talk about difficult subjects. But I'm going to tell you what, and my church is a very well centered, grounded church with people ready to meet God. There was no amens today, none. It's like you could tell. It's like it's like a matter of fact kind of thing. So when we see kids pass in such a tragic way, it rips at us and it hurts us, and it forces us to confront our own mortality. And everybody, no, I don't care who you are, you're thinking about what would I have done if I was there? What could I have rescued anybody? I mean, would I have been dead? Everybody's got their plan until you need it. It's like me and a friend were talking about. Every guy has this fight or flight plan. Sometimes it's better to flee. You're outmanned. Sometimes you got to fight because you can't flee because they jump you. And when a guy, we work this stuff out, right? I'm gonna kick him in the knee. I'm gonna hit this one, the uppercut. We got these things worked out until we get busted in the nose. Then the plan goes out the window. They get in the shot. They're faster. And then it's a melee. Everybody's got their Bruce Lee plan. I'm going to do it this way till it's real. We look at things like that. Like I could jump here. I could do that. We're constantly thinking about stuff like that. And people have a great plan until until death's at their door. They got a great plan. Don't die. That's their plan. Oh, that's a long way off. I ain't got to worry about that. I'm not going to die. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's uncomfortable. Bring it up at a dinner party. Bring it up anywhere. Watch people. Ooh, why are you talking about that? Bring it up to your family. Let's talk about death. Watch them just get really serious. Like, oh, whoa, time out. Why are we talking about death? We got to come back to it. When we talked about end of life, remember that show? It was what was that? A Mama Said, or I think, or maybe it's a Wednesday show. Hello, Anthony, and Miss Elizabeth came up, and we had a bunch of people share. That's a very emotional show. We still haven't come back to it. Why? Because ain't nobody. We need to do it, but nobody's itching to talk about that. It's like, whoa, that was great, but man, you're talking about death. So these kind of things make you really think about it. Well, it is and Michael, it's always it is more acceptable if we see somebody that's a godly person. However, it's the process of dying. We don't accept that. We don't like it. There ain't a one of you here in this chat that's choosing to suffer for months on end before you die. Hello, Dean. Wow, what a race, man. Hey, Dean, you have to go to the store and check it out. The logo is up on the shirts. It looks great, if I may say so. I got that baby sized up. Got all the color options, man. Oh, man, you got to go check it out. But great race. But yeah, nobody's signing up for the suffering, at the end of life. Everybody always says, well, if a Christian will say, I'll go in the rapture, or I want to die in my sleep. Make it quick, painless, because we fear the process of death. Well, what if it's a slow thing, like 5 minutes? 5 minutes can be an eternity if your life's on the line. And I'm not even going to mention it because we're all we're live and it might hurt somebody. But just think about that in relation to what's just happened, and think about how long they had. Let's be honest. We think about it. We think about. I respect. I'm not going to do that. You never know who's listening. We don't want to. It's hard enough on them anyway. But that's just making a point. Just making a point. How hard it is. It's very, very difficult. Anthony says to me, I feel that religion is for to combat the fear of the unknown. To be honest, well, it is an oversimplification, and some people would think that because they don't believe that we need religion to control us. No religion. I don't have religion, by the way, so that's why I have to. In the morning, Jake. In the morning. Hey, it's been a holiday. Things have been closed. Tomorrow at lunch, I got a plan. I got a plan. In fact, I got the stickers right here, ready to go, baby. I ain't forgot about you. But I don't have religion, Anthony. If I had religion, I would be a man most miserable. If I had religion, I would be afraid. I would fear every part of it because I don't have religion. I'm not a religious person. I'm a man of faith. I have a relationship with Christ. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not religious. Religion is a heavy load carry. Religion gives you a set of rules to live by. That's impossible. Think about it. Think about it. You cannot live up to the religious expectation. That's on purpose. Jesus made it clear. You can't meet it. That's why he had to die. If we could do it, so you can do all these, you can do all your ceremonial, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. Everybody's got them. It may have its place. It may. Now put it down, but they don't get you there. Don't get you there. You got to go through Christ. Michael, my sister and I have already been talking about dying, especially when it comes to Alzheimer's, because we've seen that 2 times. We both have suffered horrendous pain, so it doesn't bother us. Amen. Amen. And again, I think the problem is not the death itself, but the process of it, the crossing over. Jake, I hope you've had a great day. He is the only way. He being Jesus, absolutely. The way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So that's, take it up with God. I don't argue with anybody. It's the word. I think most people here will agree with it. If you disagree, that's fine too. That's the freedom we have. But you won't change my mind on it. Let's see here. Did I miss anybody? Anthony, I'm a big rock person. Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden. Yes, wrote a song called Hollow About. Yeah, I know the song. It's a song that I don't know why I'm crying, but I'm not afraid of dying. And let me tell you, that's a song, and I get it. And if he wrote that from his soul or heart or whatever you want to say, good evening, James. If he wrote that, I'm going to tell you, though, here's the thing. You're not afraid of it until you get there. It's easy for him to say till he gets close. I mean, when you seem like you're far away from death, it's the easiest thing. It's the easiest thing to say, oh, I ain't worried about that. You know? Yeah, but I get what he's saying. He's crying. I don't know why I'm not afraid to die. Why am I crying? There is things about it. I mean, separation. You're not going to see somebody for a while. Well, maybe a long while. Although in heaven, there's no time. But anyway, it's that process. How close it is. The biggest, toughest person ever. They all have that. They get there. They're afraid. Yes, Dean. Thank you, sir. James, how you doing, buddy? Man, I've been looking. I've got to catch up with your live podcast so that I can chat in your chat and help you out. When you usually have it, maybe you've already done it because I've been busy. When will you go live next, James? Yeah, they are. Yeah. Life is but a vapor. That's right, Dean. You've been listening to the preacher and reading your Bible. That's right. Yeah, that wasn't a knock on him. It was just I'm just saying that whatever opinion you have, and I'll give you a great example in a minute. I didn't mean to talk this long about this, but it's okay if that's the way the chat goes, because we are going to talk about some news. And I'm glad to hear you're doing good, my friend, my El Camino friend. Yes, I was trying to think. Michael says, I used to worry about it, but after so many close calls, it doesn't. Amen. But let me know when you're going to broadcast again, brother. I know it, and I missed it because I was at church. I was coming home. I got home. I did a bunch of work on our store, and I just slammed into the live. But when will you go live next? Like, give me the next day. Tomorrow. Oh, that's right. Movie Monday. All right, I'll come in. I want to chat. What time do you kick off, brother? Don't forget, if you got to give all you rumblers, all you people in Rumble, if you haven't already done it, give James a follow. Empty Pockets Podcast. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. You will not. If you do not have the Rumble app, why? It doesn't matter what you have. I don't care if you've got 20. Get that Rumble app. It's not going to cost you a dime. And follow these great podcasters like us and others. And in chat. Go in and chat. It's really important. No, but James is great people. Movie Monday. What's the movie, man? What is the movie? We're live chat tomorrow at 4 p.m. Okay. I'll make sure. I'll do it from my phone. Thanks for telling me. Anthony said, did they have reports come out a few days ago saying the levees and dams couldn't handle the amount of rain because I think in general? Well, sure, yeah, and any of the flatlands too, they just flood out really quick. There's a lot of questions being asked. Superman. No, he always goes, well, Superman's kind of old. But he goes, oh, here we go. Oh, that's a great one. Part 2. I saw you have that up. I'm going to watch that, the first one. I'm going to get both of them and others that you have. Yes, y'all give him a follow. But go in and it's greatly important that you go in there while he's live tomorrow at 4. Use that Rumble app and go into the live chat and just say, hey, James. That's all you got to say. Help the man out. We got enough folks that we could I don't know where he's at on his 20 he needs, but we're gonna give you we're gonna bump you, man. Thank you, Michael. He's already following you, but go and chat, dude. Go and chat. So it's okay. I hope it's okay. I call you dude. I said that to Carl in the video I sent him about 5 Coffee. I said he's a good dude. I said I don't know if I could actually call Carl a dude, but I think we're good enough friends. I can. He says it back and says, "You're all good, Dave, dude." But no, that kind of rain, who would have enough? Who would have enough? I mean, that kind of water ain't nothing we got. Except maybe a dam system. But because the Hurricane Harvey would hit Texas, Houston and Dallas flooded right away. Well, sure, but tell me one that would be. It might be maybe somewhat better than that, but who would? Yeah, Bubba. I'm calling it right now. That dude ain't winning a race this year, and he might be without a ride. That dude, he's making me mad. Bubba. Not you, Georgia Bubba. He's behind me. Yeah, thank you, Michael. I just want to help the man out. He's a good man. And do get Steve-O to it, Celtic Blacksmith. I'm pretty sure most of the others are there. We've been over helping them out. We're there. We're good. Let's help the rest of them out. Yeah, I wasn't questioning their faith. What I was saying is that until you get to that point of death, it doesn't matter if you're a man of faith. And I've got the scriptures to back it up. I preached it today. Men fear death. They fear death. Absolutely. The word says that. Anyway, that wasn't the topic tonight. Dean. The Braves lost again. Oh. It's not a brave year. You got to be brave this year to watch the Braves. Just kidding. I like my Braves. We're going to talk about that, the sports show. That's truth. Nobody's prepared for that. But it's not like a dry run. Right? They're in a dry run. Had a guy call me one day. He'd been in my church many, many times. Filipino wife. Good people. He's a truck driver most of his life. Tough guy. Good guy. He got that dreaded news terminal. Calls me up. Wants to know if I'll come see him. Absolutely. He said, I'm pretty sure I'm prepared. I believe I am. I want to talk to the preacher. I want to make sure. We actually met twice before he died. We determined in the first 20 minutes of our first meeting that he was okay. He was fine. So we just spent time of encouragement, prayer, in the Word. I could tell you what the problem was. The problem was he knew that he was scared, and there's no shame in that. Yeah, it's tough. Oh, what I was going to say was, because and I don't want to go into all the stories, but I had these arguments with hospital staffs. Hey, listen, I know there's a lot of people in the healthcare industry. I love a lot of them. I don't care for some of them. I don't know that I trust any of them, especially administrators, doctors, too much. There's some good ones, but a lot of them will. I've even seen the chaplains being used to try to get you to do something to unplug people and all that. It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. But anyway, I won't name the hospital. Big hospital here in the next state over from me. I can be there in 15 minutes from my house. I had a MICU nurse, whatever. I think it was, whichever one it was. That was CCU, I think. Anyway, my mom laying there. It's like the fourth time she's been near death, pulled out again. But anyway, the lady said, she's not going to make it. I said, boy, you're quick to give up. She goes, well, the best thing is to let her go. I said, what the heck do you mean let her go? And she says, well, even if she makes it, she said, what's her quality of life? Well, I about come unglued. I said, whose quality of life are we talking about? She goes, well, I wouldn't want to lay there like that. I'd want somebody to unplug me and let me go. I said, lady, and everybody heard me. I was hot. I said, lady, let me tell you something about her quality of life. I said, her quality of life is she has her family surrounding her, kids, grandkids. She's got friends that come and see her. She watches her TV. She loves her TV shows. To her, that's a good quality. She's got her phone. She calls people. She works crossword puzzles. Named all this stuff. I said, that's her quality of life. She said, well, that wouldn't be good enough for me. I said, you tell me that when you're laying on the hospital bed and they're telling you it's over. You tell me that then. Because right now, from where you're standing, you don't know jack about what you'll do when you're laying there. It always angers me when they say that. And first, second, third, wherever I'm at, I don't really care what she thinks. Her job is to save lives and get, help them get better. And anyway, long story short, I got called into another hospital group, called the clergy in. I hate even using that word clergy, but they called us in to talk about end of life issues. So I'd already been to one class. So I thought, well, I'll go. I was sitting there with another Baptist preacher, and there's people from all backgrounds. I mean, Jewish, Islam, you name it, Catholic, whatever the denomination was. And they were using the Terry Schiavo case as their example. I knew I was going to be ticked off already because I didn't believe that Terry Schiavo should have been unplugged. It ticked me off. I hated that case. That case still haunts me. And I remember, I was glued to the radio at work listening to this thing as it played out. If you don't know about the case, go back and look it up. Terry Schiavo. And I'm going to be careful what I say on here. Lawyers are standing by. But I'll just say that there was some scummy people involved. There were some wonderful people. My heart goes out to them because they had to sit and watch their daughter die because of scum buckets. That's what I'll say. When I'm on the bed, now there's a time to go. When it's time to go, it's time to go. When God says it's time to go, I'm good with it. But until then, I want somebody fighting for me. I don't want somebody laying there giving up on me and say, oh, what's the quality of life? Hey, breathing, being here, and I'll say it as a man of God. doing God's will. We don't know if I'm still here, God's got a plan for me. There's something he wants me to do. I don't got a right to try to cheat that, and nobody else does either. But that's the way the world is, man. They like, in Europe, they just roll the truck up your house, like Roto-Rooter. They just roll the hoses in your house and, put you out of your misery for $200 or something. It makes me mad. I get fired up if you can't tell. Anthony, I felt today's hospital are so tired. The insurance. Well, yeah. You dang right. Yeah, don't trust them 100%. Now, I'm saying there's some good people there. I've met them, but you got to weed through some stuff to get to those people. But at the end of the day, money talks. Insurance, money. They'll bleed you dry, and then when you're dry, we can't do no more for them. They every treatment in the world they want to offer you until there ain't no more money. Like hospitals, retirement homes are now like that. They just care more about opening up beds and making money than you got it. James, my mother was so scared up to her last 2 days that she was ready to go at that point. Yeah, and listen now, there's something called dying grace. Dying grace. I mean, and I'm a firm believer in it. Dying grace. There is a time where you're just ready. You're just ready. And that's the grace that God gives you, because it is a scary thing. Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about. You're scared. But that grace to go on. However, I hate that, man. I know that had to be hard. Anthony says, I know about the case. I feel this person themselves in their own will say if they can't respond anymore, plainly the family doesn't really have the right to go against it. Am I right? Well, it wasn't the family, it was the husband. Well, I mean, that's family, but now if you know the case, what was your opinion? Could she respond? Could she hug people, make utterances, show love? She crossed. If you did an animal the way they did that lady, you'd go to jail for a long, long time. They took her off the food, feeding tube, and water. Court ordered. It still burns me up. Got nothing. I'm telling you what, that case shook America. And we probably still don't understand just how bad. Michael says, let's see, he had a nurse tell people right in front of me that day that my old butt wouldn't even walk again. They got it wrong, didn't they? God said wrong. They kept saying I had cancer, 3 different types, and they found nothing because I maxed out my insurance. Whoa. Yeah. She wasn't brain dead. No, sir. Brain dead, you don't do nothing. You go back and watch the videos, dude. Yes, you are correct. I think if you go back and look at that case, man, I think you got some facts off. He wanted her to die. Go back and reread that. That was a big fight in court, and he won. Anyway, it's a tough thing. Like I said, I wasn't somebody that was involved, just from afar. But she did have some problems that happened, yes. But if you had an animal that you loved, even if it was laying there but it could still respond to you, you would care for it. A dog or a cat. I mean, some people are just brutal. They just go out and put it out of its misery. But that's what they did to her. They didn't let things take their course. Well, and I'm not their judge, but I will say in this, I am always a proponent for life. That's not judging. I'm a proponent for life. A proponent for life. Absolutely. And I don't trust some people because they are, well, we just need to let her go when it's time. I was told that I refused to accept. Let me tell you this. I've been there, brother, and I know the difference, and I know how they do. And I've had them slam the books down on the desk and say that I was refusing to accept that my mother's life was coming to an end, that I couldn't accept it, and I was causing her more harm. I said, no way. I am fighting for my mom. And until we've exhausted everything, you will not stop. You will not move her to the hospice floor. You will not give up. The next morning, my mom came out of the problem she had, and she lived yet once again. And we had a good long time with her. These people are like a death cult. I'm sorry. I just am big on this. Big on this. And by the way, a man of God had got no business telling someone when to do those things. We can help pray for people. It's not my job to tell somebody to do that. Anyway, whatever. And I'm not telling you how to feel about it. I'm not. I'm big on the show about that. What I'm saying is that by God, I know how I felt about it. And it still ticks me off to this day. In that case, it did something in me. And it made me wake up a little bit. I think I was a little too trusting before that case. Not anymore. And that case got me ready for all the crap that came down my path with my mom after that. I could at least say something positive came out because I knew what to expect. And we fought. And we went round and round. But I had doctors fighting too. It wasn't just me. There were some good people along the way. Absolutely. Yeah, I was a little older, man. You was in middle school. I was working as an adult. And that I had just rededicated my life. I remember it wasn't long. I rededicated my life to Christ. And that case just really ticked me off. And if you had been in that class that I'd been in, you got even more mad. I was ready to walk out of that class in the first 5 minutes. I stayed out of respect. In fact, the preacher next to me leaned over and said, I think me and you were in the wrong class. I said, you dang right we are. I said, I'll never take another class here. I don't care what they say. Free, I don't care. They couldn't even pay me to go to a class like that. Man, it angered me. James, I don't know if anyone else experienced this, but I have had conversations with Mother after she passed. She came to me in my dreams, but it seems so real. Hey, you know what? I know a lot of people that said that. I'm not going to question that. That's if you believe that happened, brother, enjoy it. You know, there's I think it happened for me once. My best friend was murdered. And I really struggled with this. And I've talked about this on the show. I struggled with it really bad. We were both 21 years old. And yeah, Michael, you lay down and get some rest, man. God bless you. I just had a real hard time with his death. And for about 6 months, I was just in a funk. Anyway, I won't go through the story, but I worked it out. But right after I'd sort of worked it out and I just was kind of moving on, my mental health was good, I had this really powerful dream. And me and him were going to go to this concert. Me and him, it was funny. We were these huge music lovers. And I went to tons of concerts after that. In fact, I went to my very first really big concert. The year he died, I think, or the year after he died. That was like the kickoff. And so I had this dream that me and him were going to go to a concert, me, him, and my wife. And it was the most vivid thing. He was talking to me. I had forgotten what he sounded like. You forget what the sound of their voice is. And I just forgot about it. I couldn't remember what the sound, In this dream, everything came back. It was like the best, most peaceful dream. I was so excited in the dream. all the pain and all the grief and everything was gone. And when I woke up, I called my wife. I was going to tell her not to forget to make sure she gets the ticket for him, because it was like in the dream I had ordered 2, but I needed 3. And about the time my wife opened the door to see what I wanted to the bedroom, I said, "Never mind." And she's like, "What?" I said, "It's okay." And it was like, for me, it was like, it's okay. It's okay. Live life. And it was like I never had anything like that after that, ever. But that dream was very peaceful to me. And I felt like it was something to help me. So I definitely, but yeah, man, absolutely. Let's see here. Honestly, I was ticked off the whole case when I was in middle school when it was happening. I felt like people either saw or taking advantage. I think probably if people do that, pretending like they actually care, was making themselves famous. I had a friend in high school. His grandmother passed away the day before he got into a major car accident, and he actually felt that his grandmother was his guardian angel. Okay, and protected him from any major injuries. He basically walked out with just small bumps and bruises, no concussion, no major injuries. And I don't know if I buy into the guardian angel, but I do believe in angels, and I believe we've all got a guardian angel. I don't believe people become angels, but I'm not going to question somebody's belief or whatever about it. I'm just saying, from the biblical perspective, the Bible never says that. There are angels and there's us, and there are demons, and that we never see somebody getting their wings or nothing like that. There's angels and there's people. Angels don't have, there's just differences. But anyway, I do believe I met an angel once too, and I could be wrong, because the Bible says that we can meet angels unaware. And I firmly believe that I met this angel. It was a person I worked with, and long story short, it really hit me hard when they left. I was having a hard time with it, and this guy was great. And he without going to the story, he really helped me to. He really helped me to see some things. Anyway, I was going to find him and send him a message, and I knew where he was going. I had all the info. I never could find him. I called the school he went to. Never had a record of this guy showing up. I mean, I did some follow through, and this is the age of computers too. I did everything I could. I said, this guy didn't exist. I'm telling you, he was an angel. Oh, I'll pray for Michael as he's got to lay down. Why, yes, Anthony, we're going to update here some things in just a second. I have some things I want to pull up on the screen and talk about. But I just enjoy talking to you guys and gals and whoever else. Thank you for being here. SFP News Desk, baby. It's a new logo for the show. We're going to talk about this lady right here, Candace Taylor from the state of Georgia. She made a mistake. Now, she's trying to bookend herself on Marjorie Taylor Greene's introduction of a bill we're going to talk about in just a minute. And these are all the people that believe in the chemtrails and whatever else. But the problem with all of this is she basically alluded that it was a lot of fakeness going on in this. And she backed this thing up. There's her social media post. Fake weather damage. Don't accept the narrative, question the cause. She come back later and said real damage, or real loss, but fake weather or something. That they caused this by things that they're doing. Anyway, what she did is made herself look bad. I mean, really bad. It's kind of like the, he paid dearly, maybe more than he should. A lot of people feel very strongly about it. And I'm Alex Jones, and because he early on said that the school thing, that it was fake. And whatever she feels about this, she was trying to score some points. It fell flat. It's an embarrassment, and it made Georgia look really stupid. The national media is having a field day with it, and she gave them some bulletin board material. And that's some of that material right there where they're putting that up. And it's like if you just need people need to think before they post. Um, yes, Broski, it's a real tragedy. The death toll is rising, absolutely. And Candace Taylor ran for governor. She's now seems she's going to run for the Senate or House. I'm not remember which. It may say in there, um, House of Representative. She is running, and she posted this, and she may have just killed her career. To be honest, that's not for me to say now. Time will tell. Time is always the answer to it. But Candace Taylor, why? Why would you do that right now? Why would you come out with this? This is not time for politics. I know the Democrats do that stuff. Why would you do that? Why would you do that in the midst of this tragedy when all these kids are still missing and the death toll is rising? Why would you do that? Bad, bad, bad mistake. I'm not on a vendetta to get Candace Taylor. I'm not. It's just in the news. And it was just a bad look. And this is it's a message for all of us. In this age of instantaneous news, post it and it's out there. You gotta reread stuff before you post it. You gotta think about all the angles of a story before you put it out there, and what's it going to look like from the different angles. Even if it's truth, make sure that it conveys exactly what you want to say, but takes in the timing. Timing is everything. If she really believes that, okay. The timing was horrible. The timing was not what we needed. So I would just say to her, yeah, she does. Well, everybody comes up with different ways to spell names nowadays, or whenever she was born. I guess it does throw it off, though, as you're not expecting Candace with a K. But that is a bad deal. Now, to bookend that, and we'll come back to another story in just a minute, because I want to come back to that in just a minute with MTG. In a Politico story by Ben Johansson, and it's behind there by a coffee. He says, I don't know, is what it says. And he is now admitting that he kind of exaggerated when he said he could end it today. It's obvious that he can't. He talked with both Putin and Zelensky. The Putin call did not go well, and he said that. And I think so, broski. I think so. That will wrap around her neck like a millstone. Horrible. That's one of the biggest. My gosh, is and for Alex Jones, he's not a political candidate. It's bigger because she is. So here's where we're at. Russia, Ukraine. There's a lot of things at play here. Let me pull this down just for a minute. Come back up. We'll put that back up in just a second. Here's the thing. There's a lot of different things at play here. And some people have said what I say, even people on our show have believed that what I've said here is that I'm for Putin. I don't know how I could be any more clear that I'm not for that guy. He's KGB. I don't like that guy one iota. But however, I don't care for Zelensky either. I think they're both really low class, evil people. Only way I can say that. I don't care for either one of them. And sometimes, and I've been kind of talking about this last week for some other reasons. Sometimes I just play the other side of a story. It makes for good TV, When you have one person, I do this with Rob all the time. Sometimes I just throw the other point out there so that we can debate it. If you both agree, it kind of falls flat. It's like, oh yeah, absolutely, go get them. Then you're sitting there for, okay, what are we going to talk about now? If I take the other side of something, or I just point it out, I don't have to take that side. I've been on debate teams. I've debated major issues from all sides. So this one has a lot of parts to it. It's not that easy. It really is not. I mean, of course, the easiest thing to say is Russia shouldn't have come into Ukraine. Check, I get it. But he did. So forget that. That story's dead. We got to deal with them now. That's like maybe saying the South shouldn't have seceded. I mean, okay, but they did, and we got to deal with the after effects of that, you know. Or maybe we shouldn't have entered some war. Okay, but we did, so we got to deal with that. Russia's in Ukraine. Forget Crimea. I don't even care about that Crimea story. I get this thrown up my face all the time. Remember, Dave, they shouldn't have taken Crimea. Okay, that was how long ago? 11 years ago, or whatever it was. It's a while back. I don't think that's part of the story now. That's the people of Crimea wanted to be in Russia, by and large. They speak Russian. Who cares? The fact is, Ukraine's getting decimated because this idiot Zelensky. Yes, and I've seen somewhere then. James said he's a bigger scumbag. Putin. Absolutely, I could care less about that guy. He's watching his country be decimated. He cannot win this war. He has not done anything except the splash moves. He does the Hail Marys. He hits the planes on the tarmac. Okay, great job, man. But what you got next? Every 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, you're going to come up with something like that? Your people are freaking dying. Your soldiers, you're running out of supplies. We're having to pull back now. That's a whole nother story I might hope to get to. Because our administration got their wires crossed. We got 3 different stories coming out of D.C., one of those being the president's, about how much weapons we can send them. And now the president's saying we need to send them Patriots. My God, this thing just keeps getting worse. The Russians are making advances. Yes, the Ukrainians have fought valiantly. Nothing against them. They can't win. They're not gaining ground. They're losing ground. This thing just keeps marching on. They're getting closer and closer to Kharkiv. And it's just not working. It's not working what they're doing. This guy's got to go. So when we talk about Ukraine, first of all, Putin is never going to make a deal with that guy in there. I believe that. But whether he will or whether we don't, we'll deal with Putin in another way. Somebody will have to. Zelensky's got to go. This guy's the problem. Now he's all buddy-buddy with the president saying, oh, we had a good talk. I think we're getting closer. Yeah, it's good. Closer to what? That he's going to send you money or weapons or what? Boots on the ground? I don't know what that means. He can't win. He just can't win. Yes, there's losses on both sides. About 3,500 troops a day are getting casualty. But Putin's got a lot more people to throw at than Zelensky does. Zelensky does not have the amount of people necessary to win this war, and they don't have the weaponry, even with stuff we gave them. He can't win the war. So now we got to figure out what's going to happen there. Let me catch up with some of the, one of our, no, they're not. Putin has been in power since 2000, he rewrote the Constitution. Well, yeah. Of course it is. And so Zelensky's. They's already supposed to have an election. He said no. Yes. Yes, that's true. And that's fair. It's somewhere around that 700,000 total, all the way up to 1.3 million. It's a lot of freaking people. Zelensky can't do it. He can't afford that. Putin has always been able to finish his war anytime he wanted to. He's been trying to save the real estate. Yeah, and you're right. And I've asked people this. I said, well, we got to help the Ukrainians. And they can win this thing. And I've said, no, they can't. When I see the Russian bombers over Ukraine unloading massive amounts of ordnance and just decimating all the big cities in Ukraine, then you'll know it's about over. If I see all those planes get shot out of the sky and Ukraine drives 100 miles back, drives Russia back 100 miles towards their border, then I might say they can win. They can't win. But now NATO's, right there. I mean, what's going to happen? So I don't know. The sanctions are what they say Trump's going to do. Massive, massive sanctions on the oil. I question how effective that'll be. Biden already tried this. How much more can we do? Putin made money. He's got China, North Korea, and probably Iran, although that's a little cold right now, on selling his oil. So if he just attacks the oil, okay, he limits his ability to sell across the world. But I don't think it matters. I really don't think it matters. My opinion is that he's just going to keep taking land, letting this play out. I heard a report out of China this summer saying that China likes the distraction for America and to encourage Russia to keep going. I don't know. You hear stuff. Who knows what it is? Dean, it's called Threadless. I will send you a link here. And matter of fact, I might be able to send that now while it's on my mind. Maybe. But I just question what the heck they can do. When they say casualty, that doesn't necessarily mean, yeah, absolutely. I get that. Some injured go back in the line, but many of them do not. So whatever that is, dead or injured, if you can't go back in the line of battle, it's a loss. It just means you got legs missing or you're dead. The longer Zelensky takes to give up, that's it. That's it. Come to terms now. He's lost 1/5 of the country. Gone. 1/5. That's the number. Empty pockets. Russia's capable of doing the same type of shock and all like we do. They sure are. Zelensky be crapping his pants. He ain't seen nothing. I knew Russia wasn't going to do what they normally would do when the opening days of the war, even though they were firing on Kyiv, they landed some convoys not too far outside of town, didn't work. When I saw Kyiv buildings not being just blasted to the ground from a massive bombing campaign, I said, this war is weird. There's something weird going on here. It didn't look right. Broski, I don't think Trump has let it become a distraction. He's been a time, I'm not sure, but no, well, I don't think that he is, but that maybe China thinks that it is. But you're right. I don't think he does. It said over 1 million casualties for Ukraine, but it's roughly 700,000 killed. Think about that. 700,000. Now, how many did we lose in Afghanistan? Think about that. And the media over here was and one life is tough. I get it. But 3,500, whatever it was. And they were acting like, every military person was dying. Imagine those kind of numbers coming in going into the 4th year. Imagine that. And this guy's still in power. He's still in power. I mean, what the heck? I just don't get it. All right, Dean, I ain't forgot about you. This link will at least get you to the store. You might have to click on you probably got to create an account. Because this is going to take you to, it's going to say, don't try to put a password in, create an account. And I'm going to email this to you, brother. Be easier that way. We're going to be advertising a lot. I want to get some of the stuff up, but I want you to see that logo, man. It looks awesome. Awesome. I think it does. I could be Afghanistan, Iraq together, 4,000. 4,000. That's horrible, but 700,000. Think about that. Wow. StreamYard link only if somebody's coming up on stage. I was sending a link to our store, our Threadless store. I've got some work I've got to do in there, but I did get that logo up. And for the racing hour, but you don't like racing, except drag racing. Neither does Empty Pockets. I bet both you guys. I bet y'all were heavy pedal to the metal kind of guys when you were growing up, when you were a teenager. I bet I know James was. That's why he became a mechanic. He had to fix the stuff he was torquing out. Oh, by the way, Dean, I was going to tell you. I think I'm trying to look at it. Might not have been there, and it may not be. I thought I put it in our links that are in my email, personal email, and I don't see it. So I might have to add that. Actually, it is. No, actually, it's not. I'll fix that. I think that's before we were really wanting the world to see it, and I never went back and did it. But yeah, that is a horrible thing. I mean, my gosh. Let's go back. So he don't know. He just doesn't know. So we're going to see where that goes. But Zelensky said it went good. He said it went good. And Broski says, I knew kids who died from crash cars, bikes, four-wheelers. I was never a speed racer guy. Only one out in the police. Let's move on. Now, this is that I had these backwards. I meant to change that. Back to the Candace Taylor story. Marjorie Taylor Greene, much like Florida Governor DeSantis, she's wanting to create a bill to ban these weather controls and practices, these deadly practices. This is from the Tampa Free Press. And I've heard this all over about putting things up into the climate that there's been going on for some time. China's been really involved in this. But this is not just chemtrails. This is about stuff they fire up in the clouds to make it rain, a lot of stuff like that. So she's wanting to put this, make this a bill that would, across the United States. She's from Georgia, but she's serving on a national level. And it's similar, as you see there in the article, to Florida Senate Bill 56, was recently signed into law by the governor late June. It imposes a $100,000 fine and a 5-year prison sentence for individuals engaging in geoengineering and weather modification. And that's just her X account on the right, where she is she's posting about this. It may be kind of small writing. I'm just putting it there. I didn't just pull this out of the clouds, no pun intended, or the cloud, the iCloud. But we see these two stories about it, and I think Candace was wanting to jump on that bandwagon. She's probably a little bit jealous of MTG's national. They hate her. I mean, but hey, it works for Marjorie. It may not work for Candace. We'll see. James says, whoops, I've gotten a ticket before doing 110. Woo, wow. Talk about super speeder, brother. Back in 1991. I know. What the heck? Did they say, that's pretty good? Did you tell the guy, I didn't know it'd go that fast? Wow, officer, I believe you that. Wow, wow. I didn't know it would go that fast. I love it. Oh, moving on. Bibi said he believes Trump can seal a ceasefire deal. He said ahead of a meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday that he was determined to ensure the return of hostages held in Gaza and to remove the threat of Hamas to Israel. Speaking on Sunday before boarding his flight to Washington, that'll be big news. Netanyahu also said Israeli negotiators heading to ceasefire talks in Qatar have clear instructions to achieve a ceasefire agreement under conditions Israel has accepted. Quote, I believe the discussion with President Trump can certainly help advance these results, end quote. Trump has floated the plan for an initial 60-day ceasefire that would include a partial release of hostages held by Hamas in exchange for an increase in humanitarian supplies. They talked about that today, too, letting in some limited access. The proposed truce calls for talks on ending the 21-month war altogether. There are 20 hostages that are alive, 30 dead. We are determined to bring them all back, and we will also be determined to ensure that Gaza will no longer pose a threat to Israel, Netanyahu said before departing, emphasizing the goal of eliminating Hamas military and governing power. Wow, that's going. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for those talks. And James said, I actually did. Woo, man, that's moving. 110. What were you driving, dude? Was that the El Camino? All right, here's the thing. On the spot, getting it done. This is the official declaration for a major disaster declaration by the president for Texas. Not playing around. There's been other posts about how they asked for helicopters and things, and the president said, whatever you need, I'll get it there, and he has. I like at the end of that, he signs it, he put our wonderful secretary, Kristi Noem is available at all times. Kind of a nice little add-in right there. I'm wrong for saying I hope Israel flattens all of Gaza. I can't stand Israel either, but I'm just saying, well, at this point, there's not much left to flatten, I don't think. Of course they won't, and they should. That shows you what a pawn all this is, what they do. Yeah, they always want to give Israel a hard time. What have these nations done? Any of them. 22 nations that should have a vested interest in the Palestinians, and yet they do nothing. It's still a lot. But, well, they ran that area, man. That was their terror camp, the whole of Gaza. They just let people live there so they could make them work for them and do their bidding. But yeah, so the declaration went out. Ongoing recovery efforts. I believe the president. I believe the state of Texas. They know what they're doing, and as fast as they can. After all, that water's got to go down before they can do something. But they put some temporary bridges up. There'll be a lot of need of temporary housing. I mean, it's just like in North Carolina. Roads are going to be rebuilt. There's going to be a lot of funerals. Going to be a need there for some time. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible story. Hey, TikTok's about ready to be sold. The president's working on it. And apparently, according to this, he set a September 17th deadline for China-based ByteDance to divest the U.S. assets of TikTok. Remember that. But apparently, they're going to make a U.S. only or a U.S. app or an app for the U.S. part of it so that all you TikTokers is supposed to get it done. They're supposed to be announcing that. The new app on September 5th. So TikTok will not die in America. It's going to be saved. There's a lot of money involved. I know some of you don't TikTok. We have about almost 9,200 followers on TikTok for the podcast. So there's a lot of people follow us there. So we will stay invested there unless they get rid of us. I went back. The 1970 short wheelbase pickup with a 400 small block and 30 over pistons and 510 lift cam. Aluminum heads too. Woo. Some of that I get. I'm not broski. Some of it is like great. I get the short wheelbase. I get the 400 small block. That was a great engine. In 30 over pistons, I kind of understand that. And the lift cam 510. I'm not sure what that's a lot. Aluminum has 202 valves. I believe, like your story said, it would scream. I think they all are, or most of them. I don't think it's just that one. I think the thing I'm on tonight is spying. It's too easy to access. People know what they're doing. I'm in a studio where I have webcams. I have 3 phones in here. 1, 2, 3 business phones, personal phones, and every one of them can spy on me. It ain't just that. But anyway, it's just a story. It's not going away. There's too much money involved. You don't have to get it. Just saying, there's a lot of people who have it. I can tell you how many people have it. That night they shut it down, I was at work. That happened about 10:30, somewhere in there, 10:30, whatever it was. I saw people walk around the days. Oh, they've shut my TikTok down. It was a lot of people, and they were happy. Well, the Republicans are going to lose a spot because he had already promised he was going to when the big, beautiful bill was passed. It was. Tennessee Representative Mark Green is out. He's going into private business, it looks like, although he's being coy about it. He's going to go make him some money. He's got him a deal. That's Tennessee's 7th district. And Marsha Blackburn looks like she's going to run for governor of Tennessee. So there's 3 Democrats fixing to be appointed open seats. This will eventually get that action too. They'll have a special election. So it's tight. It just makes it tighter. The lead is very, very tight. Absolutely. People pathetic. People cried about losing TikTok. Amazing. It's the world we live in, man. It depends on the level of pain. If you're watching the Super Bowl and your cable provider goes out, or they flip the channel to something else, I'll be glad to, James, when I can. I don't have a live stream there yet. We're getting closer. Oh, but you can go live on there, but you can't put it on there. We'll talk offline, but you got to have 10,000 followers. And then there's a couple other little things, but you can get there. You can. We're working on that. Truth has, now released the Truth Plus. It'll be interesting to see kind of where they go with that. There's some people are leaving some other platforms to go to Truth. It seems to be growing, picking up steam now. And there's a lot of people talking about it. I'm actually one of them that can beta test. I went there today. They want you to join, obviously. I thought I'd join for a month. That's free for a month. I thought I'd just check it out. But you can't stream there live, so it's probably not that important to me. Come on, man. What if they're sharing the gospel? What if they're sharing the gospel, man? I gotta play that other side. Becky TikToking. I like it. That fits. You didn't say Karen, you said Becky, and I like it. It cracks me up. Becky. You won't know the truth, though. I heard more guys complain about it than girls. That's true. I don't know the demographics of who has it, but I heard guys crying about it more than the girls. No, not true, man. Not true. Because I share the word, and that ain't it. No, I've shared the word 5 days a week, man. And sometimes I'm able to put up the Sunday morning show as well. And man, I put the gospel wherever, even on Red Note. I sure do. You can't get more red than that. And you know what? I got some people that like it. So I use Becky when referring to a woman playing sports or TikTok. Oh, Becky. I like it, man. It cracks me up, Becky. Oh, I don't know where, some people say the name, you'll hear the expression, the name fits. It's just sometimes people say, well, that fits. Karen, Becky. Oh, man. Those guys, too. Some people just have a way about them. I guess it just, I enjoy watching the videos of people, the police pullovers. I like watching those. Not to see people in trouble. Let me be clear. Just how they act. I don't want to see nobody get in trouble. I hate that. Lord knows that hits close to home. And feels good to laugh. Not been much laughter in the last week at my home. But we're trying. We are sure trying. Oh, man. But it's been a good weekend. Monday, we'll see what happens with the news. There's a lot of ongoing recovery operations. The president has many things going on as always, and we'll kind of update that Monday night. We'll try to do a MAGA report tomorrow night. What is that? You mean from attacks from, or I kind of get it, sort of, not really. I guess I don't because I don't get it. Doesn't happen here like that. Yeah, man. I'm fixing to sign off anyway. Thanks, James. Hey, we'll get over there tomorrow, 4 o'clock, movie night. We'll bring a posse and give you some chats in there and help you out, brother. Well, I think that's more big city, man. There is some of that, but not really where I'm at. I really don't deal with that much. Smaller towns, we don't have those issues for the most part. We do not have those issues. I work for a company where it's straight down the line. It don't matter who or what you are. Everybody goes. It's all the same rules. We work on respect, and that just don't happen. So I'm thankful for that. I really am. And we could all find something that companies cave about. That ain't one of them. Hey, James, you're a blessing. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope your health is great. You said you're feeling good. I'm glad to hear that. Shout out to your channel, Empty Pockets Podcast. James does some cool stuff. And I think me and him, in a strange kind of way, I think we think alike on some of those things because usually when he hits a story, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe it's because we're somewhat closer in age. I don't know. But he's good people. And I appreciate you, man. You're a kind man. And appreciate all of our Rumble friends. Yeah. But have a great evening. I've enjoyed kind of going through some of the news. I didn't intend even going this long, but y'all have been so great. I've enjoyed talking to you. I do got a couple things to do before I go to bed, so I need to sign off. And we're working hard every day. Me and Rob in the morning, 6 a.m. That comes early, and sometimes I do a 5 a.m. Cornbread Man morning show, audio side only. So I got to hit the bed too. So I got one quick thing to do, and then I'm gonna be out. But yeah, broski, I think that's probably the difference. The cities are gone, man, for the most part. The big cities are gone. Y'all have a great night. We'll go out with some music. Thank y'all so much for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast. Don't forget, Patriot Mobile, use that promo code Cornbread. You're going to be seeing so much about that and Mammoth and our coffee and our store. We do have a TikTok store too, and we're trying to work all that up. We got a marketplace over there with about probably close to 1,000 products, and we're fixing to do some video promotions for some of that. So lots going on at the old radio ranch, as they used to say, and maybe some other news. We're trying to work on some stuff. Just not ready to announce yet. Got to zip it up, throw away the key. Take care. Appreciate you. God bless you all. Let's pray for Texas. God bless Texas, as we say. God bless Texas. Absolutely. Good night, folks. Salute. Oh, by the way, one last thing. I do a lot of AI music and been putting a lot of that out there. I've been releasing a lot on Facebook and stuff, but you can come back to my place. I've got about 14 songs that I've published, and this is one of them. And I really like how it turned out. Take care.
It's a complicated life for the southern people. Like a small town, nothing's real. Mama's still doing wrong. Don't tell the preacher, nothing really changes.